Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are taking a look at a brand new Rebor figure that has just recently come out, and it is their brand new Velociraptor, the newest in the group, which they have quite a group of Velociraptors, and I do believe it is the last as far as these Jurassic Park Raptors go, because this is officially the last color scheme that they really needed to get in unless they're going to go through the trouble of getting all of the different Jurassic World color schemes in, which they've already accomplished 2 of, but I don't see that happening. I could be wrong, but who knows. Either way, this is the Lost World Jurassic Park color scheme, and anybody that's followed my channel knows that this is my favorite color scheme of all of the Jurassic Park Raptors, so I was really highly looking forward to this one, and I feel like they kind of saved the best for last as far as these figures go. And it was worth the wait because this thing is just magnificent. It is beautiful. I really do like it. I think the coloration is pretty spot on to what you actually see in the film. It's that nice dark orange that really looks beautiful on these dinosaurs. And then you of course have that white underbelly that also looks very nice. So the paint overall really looks beautiful and striking from a distance. But let's get a closer look and we can see if the coloration and paint matches up close. Now a lot of times on figures like this, I feel like this paint scheme itself is really hard to accomplish in a realistic way. So a lot of the time the figures will look really nice from a distance, but when you get up close and look at them, you can see that it is just paint, not so much as natural looking skin color. But I feel like Rebor has really accomplished the natural look to this figure. It doesn't look like it's paint up close. It really looks just as nice up close as it does from a distance. In my opinion, I feel like that is definitely the case. And the overall sculpt, of course, looks just as the same as Rebor Pete. If you remember Rebor Pete, which I believe was actually one of the other Jurassic World Raptors. I don't recall which raptor it was modeled after, as I'm a little unfamiliar with the different raptors from Jurassic World, aside from Blue, of course. But it is the same sculpt, so the same detail has carried over into this figure, and you can see that the overall sculpt and detail looks really nice. The overall head sculpt looks fantastic and really spot on to the raptors from Jurassic Park. The eye is painted beautifully, it really is, and you can see I love that they have the pupils of the eye, that little snake-like stripe. It's facing forward because it's running forward and it's looking forward, so it would be looking like that, I'd imagine, if it was taking off after a dinosaur. The eyes are going to be looking forward, so that makes a lot of sense, and that's very nicely done, especially considering the stance. The raptor is running, so it should be looking forward. If it was just running like this and just looking off to the side, odds are it's going to hit a tree or something. So nice attention to detail as far as Rebor goes for the way and the placement of the actual pupils. The overall coloration in the eye is really nice too. It has that beautiful gloss and looks very real, but I don't know how well it's picking up on camera, but the eye is a nice yellowish color, but inside there's actually some hints of brown. So they have done some alternate coloration inside the eye, so I think that really helps to bring it to life, makes it look very realistic. I really like that. The jaw is articulated, and one thing about the Rebor Raptors that I love is the inside of the mouth. The teeth are colored so realistically, it's almost unbelievable how real the inside of the mouth looks. And even the inside of the skin here in the mouth, look at that. That's incredible, absolutely incredible. There's such a nice wet look to it, a nice gloss. And the overall coloration is a very real coloration, and it just looks so unbelievably real. The teeth being that translucent type of a look too, and it's an off-white, so it really has a very realistic look to it. It's just absolutely jaw-droppingly beautiful. The inside of the mouth of any Rebor Raptor is something to really behold. I feel like the insides of the mouths of Rebor figures, specifically these raptors, they're better than any other dinosaur figure that I've ever seen as far as these mainstream type of releases. Coming down into the arms, you can see the arms are very nicely sculpted and painted as well, and they are also articulated, so you can move them around. But I feel like you really shouldn't, because if it's in a running stance, it's probably going to have its arms inside like this, as that's normally how I would imagine a raptor would be running, unless you're going to put the arms out to make it look like it's kind of going to grab something, but I feel like this looks a little strange and not near as realistic as it does when the arms are actually back in at the body. But you can see that the overall sculpt and detail here on the side looks very nice as well. You can catch a glimpse of the shoulder blade being elaborated, pushing out of the skin, and same with the upper part of the hip here. Coming down into the leg, very nice muscle tone. Beautiful musculature in the calf as well. Those beautiful tiger stripes run the entire length of the foot, and then the foot is sculpted and painted beautifully as well. Nice nails that have a gloss on them, so they look very, very real. It's not overly glossy. I feel like it's pretty much the perfect amount of gloss. I haven't taken the rubber band here off of the foot because I always took it off of all the other ones, but I feel like it helps it stand so much better on the base. It stands perfectly without the rubber band, but I feel like just that extra support helps. I probably will take it off eventually, but as of right now, I'm keeping it on. And you can see that sickle toe looks fantastic. Really looks beautiful, looks like it would be nice and sharp, just as it does in the actual movies. Coming up into the tail. Very nice sculpt work as we run out the length of the tail. Those tiger stripes never cease, and the tail is quite long, comes to a beautiful point and looks fantastic. And the opposing side, of course, looks just as nice as the opposite side. You can see that this leg is perfectly sculpted up here in a running stance. It's actually lifted, and you can see that the claw here, the sickle claw, is actually pulled back as if it's about to strike and attack something. And the overall appearance of that looks fantastic. I really think that helps to add to the sculpt and the overall appearance of the figure. It really gives it a very dynamic and beautiful look. I love the way the foot is sculpted here on the right side of the figure. Even the underside of the foot looks really nice. Again, that beautiful musculature in the leg and that big, nice long tail looks fantastic on both sides. Of course, to keep it on the base, you can see it's on this like sandy type of a base. And the base does look really nice. It's beautifully painted and fantastically sculpted. But you can see that there is a peg that runs from the little mound of dirt here, or mound of sand, up into the bottom of the dinosaur. So that is how you keep it on the base. And then of course on the underside it does tell you that it is a 1/18th scale Velociraptor, the Jurassic Park version anyway, and it is Sweeney of Rebor's Jurassic Park line of Velociraptors. Here's the box that Sweeney arrived in with the beautiful artwork on the front, also stating that it is Rebor 2018. And then if you take a look at the back, there you can see all the different Raptor releases that they've done so far as these Jurassic Park style Velociraptors, and they are all awesome. As far as Rebor goes, I feel like they always do a fantastic job on their figures, but these Jurassic Park Raptors were all absolutely awesome. I love the fact that they went through the trouble of creating one of pretty much every single paint scheme that was released in all of the Jurassic movies, so anybody that is a big fan of Jurassic Park or even Jurassic World got a chance to own their favorite Raptor or own all of their favorite Raptors. I really, really do love that. And this, of course, is my favorite, and it definitely is a surefire win, in my opinion. The overall paint looks really, really nice. It looks very realistic, especially that dark coloration around the eye. I love that. I always did love that on the actual Lost World Jurassic Park version. And it really follows through on this figure. It looks fantastic. As I said, this is the same sculpt as Pete. So to prove that point, here is Pete. So you can see right there that it is the same sculpt, and the overall appearance is really quite the same. So it's definitely very cool that they've released these figures, but they didn't want to go through the trouble, I guess, of creating new sculpts for every single Raptor. But honestly, with the amount of different sculpts that they already created, they've had a sitting version, well, a crouching version, they've had a running version, a standing version, a jumping version. How many other versions can you really come up with? So as far as the sculpt goes, I do not at all mind it being repeated with the Lost World version, because honestly, you're kind of out of sculpts and different positions to put your Raptors in. So that still looks very, very cool, regardless of it sharing its sculpt with a different one of the series. As far as the size, on Rebor Sweeney, from the head to the tail, you're looking at about 9¼ inches or 13½ centimeters. And from the ground to the top of the head, you are looking at about just a little under 4½ inches, or about, let's see here, about 11.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, and you can see that he is not even remotely to scale with this raptor, but he is also not meant to be. But that should give you a pretty good idea of the size of this raptor. It is definitely a decently sized figure. So this is Rebor's Sweeney, the last of the Jurassic Park Velociraptors, or at least the last of the announced Jurassic Park Velociraptors. I feel like this is probably the last of that group, as they haven't announced anymore, and this really completes the actual back of the box where it showed you all the different raptors. So if it is in fact the last, I'm pretty okay with that, as there are many other species of dinosaurs that Rebor could work on and could release. I appreciate all of the Velociraptors that they have gone through the trouble of making, and they all look beautiful. I actually haven't reviewed quite a few of the others. I don't think I've reviewed any of the other ones aside from Gun and Rose. So I'll have to get the others on the channel very soon, as I do now own all of them. But this one is my favorite without question. I love, as I mentioned, this look. I love the paint scheme, the sculpt, everything is just absolutely fantastic. So this is a beautiful release by Rebor, and I love it. If you do want to purchase one for yourself, I will throw a link in the description for you guys to order one from everythingdinosaur.com or bigbadtoystore.com. I ordered mine from Big Bad Toy Store, and they shipped it really quickly, got to me uber fast. So definitely a great website to order from, but I know Everything Dinosaur is also a fantastic website to order from, especially when it comes to these Rebor figures. So this is a 100% recommendation for me, so head on over to either of those two sites, order one, you will not regret it, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.